Did you know that 70% of people, including high-level leaders, experience imposter syndrome at some point in their careers? That means almost 7 out of 10 leaders feel like they're faking it, even when they're succeeding. It's a hidden struggle, but it's real. You might be one of them. The truth is, feeling like an imposter doesn't mean you're not a good leader. In fact, it could mean you're actually doing something right. Leaders are often the hardest on themselves, questioning if they really belong in their role. But here's the shocking part. Imposter syndrome can hold you back from achieving your full potential. In this video, we'll dive deep into why these feelings of doubt don't make you less of a leader. You'll learn powerful, practical strategies to fight back against that voice in your head telling you you're not enough. From shifting your focus to finding strength in vulnerability, this is the guide you've been waiting for. Ready to break free from imposter syndrome? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Leadership Lie. Breaking the imposter myth. As a leader, you've probably felt like an imposter at one point. The truth is, many leaders experience this self-doubt, especially in the beginning. It's easy to assume that true leaders are perfect, never make mistakes, and always have the answers. But that's simply not true. According to the American Psychological Association, 70% of people will experience imposter syndrome at some point in their careers. Leaders are no exception. In fact, the higher you rise in your career, the more you might feel like a fraud. But here's the reality. Leadership is about progress, not perfection. The best leaders acknowledge their imperfections and keep growing. It's not about having all the answers, but about being open to learning and evolving. What does this mean for you as a leader? Don't buy into the myth that leadership requires flawlessness. Instead, embrace the fact that mistakes are part of the journey. Leaders who thrive are those who learn from their errors and continue to move forward. So, instead of feeling like an imposter, recognize that your imperfections make you human and relatable. Leadership is about guiding your team, not pretending to be perfect. Chapter 2. Why you're not an imposter. The power of self-reflection. A great way to combat imposter syndrome is to take a step back and reflect. When you doubt your abilities, it's often because you're not looking at your progress. Reflecting on your journey allows you to see the steps you've already taken. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that self-reflection boosts leadership effectiveness by enhancing decision-making and emotional intelligence. The key is to focus on how far you've come, not just on where you still want to be. Take a few minutes each day to jot down your wins and challenges. This will help you see your growth and make it easier to recognize your worth. Remember, no one is born a great leader. Leadership is a skill that is developed over time through reflection and action. By focusing on your progress, you'll start to see that you're not an imposter. You're just in the middle of your growth. Chapter 3. Unlock your inner mentor. Becoming the leader you wish you had. Another powerful strategy for overcoming imposter syndrome is to become your own mentor. This means adopting the mindset of a mentor when you look at your own leadership journey. If you've ever had a great mentor, you know they've likely encouraged you to believe in yourself, even when you felt unsure. Now, imagine you're that mentor for yourself. What advice would you give your past self? What would you encourage yourself to do differently? This strategy doesn't just benefit you, it also benefits your team. When you lead with a mentoring mindset, you foster growth and trust in your team. You show them that it's okay to be imperfect, as long as you're working toward progress. When you think like a mentor, imposter syndrome starts to lose its grip because you see your value in terms of guidance, not perfection. If you've found these strategies helpful so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more leadership tips and insights. It's time to continue breaking down those barriers. Chapter 4. The Unseen Struggles. Recognizing your growth in the shadows. Sometimes, the most significant growth happens when it's least visible. As a leader, you might not always get immediate recognition, and that's okay. Many leaders feel like imposters because they don't see their progress day by day. But just because growth isn't obvious doesn't mean it's not happening. A study by the Harvard Business Review revealed that it takes about 10,000 hours of practice to truly master a skill, but this doesn't mean mastery happens overnight. Growth often occurs in small, incremental steps. These might not be noticed by others, but they are vital to your development. Reflect on the tough situations you've navigated or the difficult decisions you've made. Those moments of struggle are often when the most significant growth happens. If you feel like your progress is invisible, remember that leadership is often about what happens behind the scenes, when no one is looking. Your quiet work is still valuable. Chapter 5. Shifting your focus. From perfection to progress. The obsession with perfection is one of the main drivers of imposter syndrome. We often think that if we're not perfect, we're failing. But perfection is an unrealistic goal that only creates stress and self-doubt. A study from the University of California found that perfectionism is strongly linked to anxiety and depression. Leaders who focus on perfection often burn out quickly, and their teams can feel the pressure. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on progress. Small improvements over time are much more sustainable and rewarding. Don't get bogged down by the idea that everything needs to be flawless. As a leader, it's more important to demonstrate growth and resilience. When you shift your focus to progress, you'll see how much you're actually achieving, and the feelings of imposter syndrome will start to fade away. Remember, leadership is a marathon, not a sprint. Chapter 6. The power of vulnerability. Leading with authenticity. One of the most powerful ways to overcome imposter syndrome is by embracing vulnerability. As a leader, you might think that showing vulnerability is a weakness, but it's actually a strength. Research by Brené Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability, shows that leaders who are authentic and open about their challenges build stronger connections with their teams. When you show your team that you don't have all the answers and that it's okay to struggle, you create an environment of trust and collaboration. Being vulnerable doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're real. It helps you relate to your team, which is key for building loyalty and respect. When you lead with authenticity, you set an example for others to follow. Instead of feeling like an imposter, you'll feel more connected to your team, and they'll appreciate your honesty. Vulnerability may feel uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to lead effectively. If you've found these tips valuable, be sure to subscribe to stay updated on the latest leadership insights. Let's continue growing and breaking through those barriers together.